Welcome to the world famous Buckeye Show, hosted by your boy Cleveland Mike. Man, I'm glad that everybody is able to be here, man. I appreciate everybody here. Man, I had the YouTube thing running, so I heard myself on repeat for a minute, man. But it's good to have everybody here, man. Again, while you're here, make sure that you hit that like button, man. It costs you nothing, it is free. We appreciate all of the support right here. I'm going to be doing the show by myself today, man, but that is not going to be an issue. We just going to keep the ball rolling as we always do. Right now, I am trying to get this show posted to the. There we go. Get this posted up. So we can get more people in here, man. You know, got to get more folks in here. Let me know, where are you watching the show from? Did you hit the like button? Let me know in the comments. Did you hit the like button? If you are watching on Twitter right now, just go ahead, hit the retweet button. I can see it. I will go ahead and shout you out. So if you are watching on Twitter, make sure that you hit that retweet button, man. We appreciate everybody. About to get this sent in these group chats, and we are done, buddy. Yeah. All right, man. So my question of the day for the chat right now is: are you concerned about Ohio State's offense? So let me know, man. Let me know. Put the show on your back today, Mike. You already know Jay Bucks. That's how we gonna do. That's how we gonna rock out, man. So, all right, and one more group chat. Bam. All right, man. We're about to get to this show. There's a lot going on around college football right now. Ross Dillinger, man, he put out some tweets. I don't know if you saw those, but basically, I'm going to read off what he put out in his tweets, man. He said the Big Ten has been in discussion for months with several private capital firms to infuse upwards to $2 billion into schools that will require a 10-year extension of the grant of rights to basically 2046 in a tiered distribution structure, sources tell Yahoo Sports, as ESPN reported. A note of caution: this is far from being finalized. There are some people pushing back on this, like in Ohio State and a team up north. As part of this proposal, the conference plans to create a private entity, Big Ten Enterprises, designed to consolidate some of the school's rights to better monetize them. There is an upfront infusion of cash to schools, split unevenly in tiers, as well as future distributions. Now, I think that this is great. Now, why would Ohio State and that team up north be pushing back? And why I agree that they should be pushing back, I don't agree with a 10-year deal. We've seen what the ACC is dealing with and what those teams are dealing with being in a 10-year deal. The economy grows, things change. You don't know what could happen in the next 5 years. So if you do a 5-year deal, that is cool. But a 10-year deal is way too much. So, of course, I will push back on it. But the one thing that I agree on, the one thing that I have been saying is we need to have some type of tier structure. And that is what should be happening right now. I believe in it 100%, man. We definitely need to be having a tier structure in the Big Ten. Like I said, for Ohio State to be carrying the weight of the Big Ten for so long, especially if we could just talk about throughout the playoff experience, right? They wanted to see how they could do Thursday night games and stuff like that. Who they call? Ohio State. Oh, we want to do the big noon kickoff. Who you calling? Ohio State. Who leads in big noon kickoff games? Ohio State. And who does this hurt in recruiting? Ohio State. It hurts Ohio State by being the leader, and it's really sad. And I think that this influx of money could help Ohio State to, hey, it's a different distribution. Let me know what you think. We appreciate you, Evan. On X, reposting the show, man. Again, if you are watching on X, just go ahead, hit that retweet button. We appreciate you, man. And our guy Eric said, ask AI, it fixes everything. So again, as more people come in here, the question of the day is are you happy with the offense? Do you have any concerns with the offense, man? Another thing that I want to talk about, Arkansas had a terrible loss to Notre Dame, getting blown out, as the Arkansas fans would say, on the heel in Fayetteville, man. They got blown out by Notre Dame. So now Arkansas's reaction is to fire Sam Pittman. Now, I'm of the belief that I feel like Sam Pittman is being a scapegoat. Nobody at the time he took the job, I felt nobody at the time wanted the Arkansas job, right? And I felt like he was the saving grace. Now, I understand that there has been issues, but as the athletic director himself pointed out, was that some of these issues is really, to me, on him. He even brought it up to the point where he said, if there's not a state trooper on the road and the speed limit's like 50 miles an hour, who's going 65? Raise your hand. He had all the media people in the crowd raising their hands, and it's like, he was like, well, we believe in integrity. We're not going to do that. And he said, right now we're set up for success to win championships in baseball. We're set up to win championships in basketball and other sports. Football is king in college football. What are you talking about? If you're winning in college football, that pays for your basketball program. That pays for your baseball program. And that can pay for other programs as well. What are you talking about? And that's why I call Sam Pittman the scapegoat, because you have not been dishing out the money. The money started, and the influx of money started coming in when they got Calipari, the basketball coach. That's when the influx of money started coming in. Let me tell you. And then, guess where that money was really going? To the basketball program. You wonder why Arkansas, this offseason, you have for the first time a returning quarterback with his returning OC. But what did they need? They needed O-line help. Did they go get that in the portal? No. They needed guys on the outside, skilled guys. Did they go get that? We didn't even hear Arkansas name in the running for a Zachariah Branch. They needed DBs. They could have got both of them brothers. Did they try to pay that out? No. Did they even try? Why? They can't compete. Also, if I'm an agent and I'm sitting here saying Arkansas ain't paying them, why would I send any of my other players there? So the AD, he can blame NIL and all of that. He did not set up Arkansas to win. And I know my guy Jay Buck said Arkansas going to be a hard job to take with extra resources to make them competitive. Without extra resources. Here's the thing. They have the resources right there in Northwest Arkansas where Fayetteville is. You got the headquarters of Walmart. They have several companies that could get behind the Razorbacks in Arkansas. You got several companies in Little Rock. They don't have a professional team. So my thing is where's the money? Why is it not being poured out? And you're blaming all of these other programs. They obviously haven't got in trouble. You see, Ohio State was like, man, we're going to play the integrity thing for a minute and see how they enforce it. But if they don't, then we'll play the game too. Arkansas said, we'll never play the game. That's not on the head coach. And to me, the next head coach is going to have to get some guarantees that they're going to spend that type of money. Because I'm sure, 1,000% sure, that's why Calipari was able to come to Arkansas, because he got assurances on the type of money that he would be getting. And there you go. Buckeye Shine said, man, they got Jerry Jones. Exactly. Hey, Jerry, we going to get this 5-star guy out the portal or this guy out the portal, Jerry. This could be, we want to get these 5 guys. Here's a list of 5 guys we want to get. Look at it. All right. And that's the thing, man. But they don't want to, they want to put it in the baseball program, put it in the basketball program. But here's what my wife said. She's an Arkansas fan. Was the simple fact of, yeah, you put that money, into the baseball, into the basketball. But where's the national championships? Where they at? Where have they at? We've seen Arkansas focus on baseball and we've seen them lose it multiple times. Where are they at? Football is king, man. Arkansas fans, I see some of them are happy with the Sam Pittman thing. Maybe, they're happy. Hey, Bobby Petrino get the job. But I'll tell you this, where was Bobby Petrino's offense in that game? Yeah, you want Bobby Petrino back, but let's have an honest conversation. And you can say, oh, he don't have the players. Well, the great thing about elite plate callers, when you want to get to the playoffs and you want to have a chance at a national championship, you have to be able to call plays to the strength of your players. You have to be able to do that. That's something that Ohio State made an in-season change to start playing to the strength of their players on defense last year. Can Bobby Petrino do that? Because he sure didn't do it in the Notre Dame game. So that's my spiel on that whole Arkansas stuff, man. Some week 5 games, Alabama goes into Georgia. And I know some people call it an upset, but I mean, is it an upset when Alabama has just been doing this? It's kind of telling. Alabama goes ahead, beats Georgia. They lost to Florida State, and Florida State loses to Virginia. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. We already got chaos in college football, and I love it. I'm here for it, man. As a Big Ten fan, I know you all were watching the Oregon and the Penn State game, man. So, I mean, that was a game I did expect Oregon to come out on top. Now, the game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. You could see some deficiencies on both sides, but obviously Oregon, they just seem to, like I said, know what they are on both sides of the ball, know what they are on defense, know what they are on offense, and they just seem like the more complete team on the field. Penn State is still trying to find their identity on offense, and that was my biggest thing that I talked to you guys about Penn State, right? If Drew Aller was having issues and against these G5 schools and these mediocre schools, what's going to happen when the chips is down? And you saw it. When the pressure was on, Drew Aller fell for it, man. Thought he had the screen route. Boom. Picked off. I don't even think that he should have threw it in the first place. But, hey, it is what it is. I see my guy EG in here, man. Hit that retweet button in here, EG. He said, watch him out. Hey, I only speak facts, EG. And I've been telling you this for years, man. I've been telling you this for years. Only way you're going to be able to compete is if your AD is either fired or they start dishing out the money, man. So hopefully they can get that together. But again, back to this Oregon-Penn State game, man. Just Drew Aller, and I hate to really like blame Drew Aller, because one thing that I have told you all for the longest is I don't feel that Drew Aller picked the right school to develop him. No, he did not. You're a pocket quarterback, a pro-style quarterback, and you go to Penn State where James Franklin is known to have the Tracy McSorleys of the world, the dual threat quarterbacks of the world, right? That's where you chose to go for your development. And you see Andy Konicki. He really didn't pick that OC with you in mind, Drew Aller, because Andy Konicki better fits Bo Pabula. So what does that tell you? I mean, James Franklin, he has to get it together. He's not matching his coaches up with the talent that he has. I will say, Jim knows they were getting some third down stops, but when you have those teams like the team up north who likes to go for it, if it's fourth and short, they would go for it. And the one thing that we just could not do as Ohio State was get off that damn field, bro. We just could not get off that field. And you saw it over and over happen in that game. I'm pulling up these stats now. You see on fourth down when Oregon was going for it because they were 6 for 18. So good job. And then Penn State was 6 for 15 on third down. But when Oregon was going for it on fourth down, they got it 5 out of 7 times. That just looks familiar with the Jim Knowles style defense. Something that I don't like. Penn State fans said Jim Knowles isn't the issue. So we'll let them have that. If they are happy with that, they can have it, man. So I mean, that's on them. It is what it is when it comes to that, man. But again, Oregon comes out with the dub. Dan Lannon was out there geeked out. Some people calling it Adderall. Some people calling it the good Coca-Cola. I don't know what it is, bro, but dude was on one. And then somebody posted a video from last year, and I'm going to tell you, just look up the side effects of Coca-Cola and blinking your eyes, because there's a video of Dan Lanning where this man did not blink his eyes. So maybe it's Adderall, but dude probably need to cut that out. I don't think that you should just be going the whole interview and not being able to blink. That's crazy, man. That's just a normal body function. Yeah, I think that is insane. But before we continue, man, we do got to go ahead and take care of some business. So let's go ahead and get to that right here. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. See what our partner Win Agency has to say about its sponsorship experience with us right here on screen. Let's discuss how you can also reach your target market. Contact us at sponsorships at vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. Make sure that you go ahead and check that out if you would like some promotions. We don't just have an Ohio State channel. We have Notre Dame channels. We have Clemson channels, Team Up North channels. We have just about every channel that you could think of, Alabama. So we in the SEC. Reach your target market with the Voice of College Football. And also we have our website at voiceofcollegefootball.com. Go check that out, and you can find any of your teams. And also, hey, if you're watching and we don't have your team, let us know. Maybe we can work with you if you want to talk about your team, man. Johnny said, Cleveland Mike, why does it smell like bologna here? Man, hey, maybe because y'all ain't playing up to your standard. I mean, might be that upper lip that you're talking about over there, Johnny. I don't know why it smell like that. Oh, maybe he talking about them hogs. Oh, that's what Johnny talking about. Is Johnny talking about them hogs, man? Talking about Taylor Green averages more total yards than anyone in the country, by the way. Yes, he did. Agree. That was against y'all cupcakes. Soon as y'all faced the real team, look what happened. I mean, look what happened, boy. Hey, them boys up north showed y'all how to play football, didn't they? Oh boy, man! I just remember all them talks. Y'all don't play football up north. If we was playing any teams up north, we'd run through them. Yeah, you remember them talks? Yeah, I remember them talks. EG. All right, man. But we gotta get to what we are here for, man. Man, he said Ole Miss was a real team. With what defense? What defense? What defense? Yeah, they got offense. What defense? Enjoy. We see Ole Miss was supposed to make the playoffs last year, right? And then they lose to Boo Boo the Fool, and then they can't make it. We cool on Ole Miss, bro. I ain't worried about Ole Miss. What's going on, my guy Don B, man? All right, we done talking about Arkansas, man. We are here for what everybody is here for. We are here to talk about the world famous Buckeyes again. The question in the chat is: are you concerned about Ohio State? Are you concerned about the Ohio State Buckeyes offense? I tell you, I am not. Let me know what you all are think. I do got a poll in the chat going on right now. Did you hit the like button? I see we got 22% saying no. Again, it is free. It hurts you not. It is very easy. Go ahead, hit that like button, man. We appreciate all of you all here that is watching on the Voice of College Football Ohio State channel. But Ohio State came out victorious on the road, 24-6 against Washington, man. And it's crazy that a lot of people are just saying Ohio State could have scored that one touchdown and that would have been it. We could have just lived off of the back of our defense, man. And credit to Matt Patricia. And that was just one of the biggest things that I was talking about when talking about through the bye week, right? Everybody was talking about what Washington had, what they had, and everything. And I'm like, you're giving Matt Patricia 2 weeks to game plan against this. And it's like, hey, we'll give you a little bit of the stuff over top. We didn't really show anything on the coverage wise. We gave them a little bit of that. But I mean, what our focus was, like I told you all, is the number one focus of Ryan Day is shutting down the run game. And for the most part, other than the big run that they broke out, Ohio State did that. And just like I told you all, Damon Williams, he was going to get hit one good time or a couple good times, and he was going to be hesitant. You know, we were talking in the space one time about it, and we was asking a Husky fan, and we straight up asked him, like, what's going to happen with Damon if, you know, if he gets hit a couple times? Because we know it's like if he doesn't go through that read or he gets through the read, he doesn't feel it's there. He tucks the ball, he escapes the pocket, he runs, right? He's able to get that off. Well, once that, he just kept getting bottled up and that stopped working. You see him sitting in the pocket. He's holding the ball forever. Some people are saying, no, those were coverage sacks. Shout out to BIA. What's going on? I mean, we tried to tell people. And shout out to our defense. You got Caden Curry, just basically the Cadens, man. Caden Curry had himself a day, having one of those days that you could actually put up there with a Chase Young level day. Not saying that he's Chase Young, just talking about the production that he put on the field. But shout out to Caden Curry. And I said this during our post game. If you're not watching the post games, make sure you check us out right after the Ohio State games. Myself and Garrison go live. So make sure that you guys are checking that right after the games, man. But I said this during the game, or basically after the post game, was Arvell is gone. He gone. And Garrison, I tried to tell Garrison, like basically after the first game, dude's gone. It's a wrap. It was over with. Arvell Reese is out of here, man. He's definitely out of here. So he is getting a lot of NFL buzz, a lot of NFL scouts. And I mean, it just shows what he's able to do. What Damon Williams was able to do to other defenders and has done to other defenders, and he just couldn't do. The way that Arvell Reese is coming downhill and able to change direction, the way that he's able to come downhill and still make tackles, it's amazing, man. And I'll tell you this is my thing. I need to know where my Caden Curry haters at. If you was ever a hater, go ahead. It's okay. You can fess up. If you had doubts on Caden Curry, you can fess up. It is okay. This is going to be a safe space. But I'm also going to tell you, if you had doubts, subscribe right here because I tried to explain to y'all why you should have never had doubts. That young man has been making plays since he stepped foot on campus. Since he stepped foot on campus, Ryan Day said, damn, I got to use this guy on offense because we lacking at something. Let me use Kane Curry. What do you do? Make plays. What this man done ever since? Make plays. Appreciate everybody hitting them reposts on Twitter. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to the queen. Make sure that you are checking her out on her X account as well. And right here on the Voice of College Football's main channel. But I'm trying to tell you, I've been excited about this defense. I've been excited about it since the 2024 offseason, man. And I just cannot stop raving about it. Let's go over to the chat and see what the people are talking about. Ryan Day and Hartline will unlock the offense when they need to with teams we played, and with defense we can slow play offense. Buckeyes getting dubs regardless. Agreed. They laughed at us with Matt Patricia. They did, man. And I remember my knee-jerk reaction. It was because I remember what I was saying I wanted a young coach because I wanted him to be here for a couple years and stuff. So I was like, dang, I don't like it. But it's I want to say probably 5 minutes later, I was like, nah, I'm cool with it. I like this hire just because of all his experience, what he's done, and how multiple our defense could be. And that's exactly what I spoke to you guys all season about, is how multiple this defense will be. And what the game plan and how we attack opponents. One game will not be the same way we attack opponents in another game. And you got to see early, you seeing early, Arvell Reese was on the edge. What else happened with that? You end up seeing our guy, Peyton Pierce, on the field, basically at the middle linebacker. I'm like, man, hey, Matt Patricia is just showing. And also, I think he's putting out on tape, hey, guys, y'all got to do something. Shout out, Jam. We appreciate you always. As always a supporter. We appreciate our members in here. Again, if you would like to be a member, make sure you go ahead and join. We're going to be coming out with some content. $2.99 for the Block Oak Club, $4.99 for the JT Wasn't Short, and $9.99 for We Don't Give a Damn. So check in our memberships, because I think I want to start doing some late night shows just right before I go to bed, talk about some college football and more on how I want to talk about the Buckeyes versus everybody else, man. So again, make sure you are checking this out. Luke Montgomery was also offensive MVP, and I just think that it's amazing. You know, a lot of people, we just imagine Luke Montgomery or just believe Luke Montgomery has been starting here for a while, but this guy only got 4 starts under his belt. And really, I don't even think it's that. It's 3.5 or 3 starts under his belt or whatever. And that was during the playoff run, right? So, I mean, this guy is still developing, still getting those started reps as we're going. And you see what he's doing. He just continues to get better. And I think that Luke Montgomery is a dog. And you're seeing what those Ohio boys are doing, pancaking guys. I love to see that, man. And let's talk about the offense, but I want to talk about college football nerds versus Julian Sand, them criticizing Julian Sand's deep ball, which I think is crazy because I think Julian Sand is the most accurate, he is the most accurate quarterback when it comes to the deep ball throw. And they're saying that, it's the way that throw to Carnell Tate was. He had to turn around and come back to it. And my thing is this. I want to know, does college football nerds train quarterbacks? Have they trained any college football Division I quarterback that has gone to the NFL? Anybody? One. Should Julian Sand be going to college football nerds this offseason so that he can learn how to throw the deep ball better? Or should we just go ahead and trust Ryan Day? Or should college football nerds, since they have the resources or since they are as smart and intelligent as they say, go do some investigative work and be like, if we actually watch the game and we listen and go and watch a post interview and listen to Julian Sain talk about what Billy Fessler and Ryan Day want him to do with the throw with the deep ball and throwing it high. What does that have to say? I mean, there are people that are hating on Julian Sain, and it is what it is. Buckeye fans, we gotta stop engaging with these trolls because I'm realizing there are so many people who continually talk about Ohio State and never watch the game. Never watch the game. College football nerds is a joke. When they was trying to talk about the Ohio University game, they couldn't even tell me how many times we were in 12 personnel. But they have all the numbers, right? They couldn't even tell me that. Matter of fact, they ignored me on purpose because they answered everything else and was answering everybody else's questions earlier that day. So we got to leave them trolls alone. But I think Julian Sain is great. And I see what Ryan Day is doing with him, right? A first-time quarterback is going to have mistakes. And we have seen those mistakes, right? A couple of the errant interceptions that shouldn't have happened. We've also seen him, maybe take a sack that he shouldn't have. But I'll say that I think that Julian Sain is getting better. The one sack that he did take in that game, I thought was smart. Guy came clean. They didn't fall for it. And it was smart. I think that if he tried to throw it, possibly he might not get the ball to where he needs it to get to. Could have been an interception. Could have been, however the refs like to do, intentional grounding. You just never know. So I thought that was smart. He also had some good throwaways. That was smart. And you also heard Ryan Day say, hey, I thought I saw something one way. Julian was telling me, no, he saw it this way because we saw Ryan Day and how animated he could be on the sideline, right? And thinking what he saw. But then when he went and looked on the iPad and he's like, dang, Julian was actually right. So I think that we have our guy at quarterback. And like my guy Jay Bucks was saying, they're just bringing Julian on early. And here's the thing, you minimize his mistakes by bringing him on early. And now you're also building the trust. One thing that we know about Ryan Day is he has to trust. Why was Chip Kelly able to call the plays? Because he trusted him, right? Didn't trust him in the Team Up North game, but because he trusted him. Why is Hartline able to be the play caller this year? Because he trusted him. Let's speak on the play calling because a lot of people have some concerns about it. Let me get some water. Some people have concerns about the offense. And, I also put out a tweet like, man, these guys did not come to Ohio State to play in this type of offense. The offense that they came to play in is the one where they saw with Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and what them guys was doing. And that could be right. And people are like, we don't have to show everything, when we play in these type of teams. But here's one thing that I know about Ryan Day. Ryan Day's always drawing up plays, always got something in his back pocket. And I just don't believe that we would be showing anything if, we put the ball out there a little more. But I'll tell you this. Shout out to Julian Sain. Shout out to Brian Hartline because in that game, the deep ball, the explosive plays were not really there. They were playing completely far back. They were not. They were keeping everything up in front of them. And shout out to Julian Sain for being smart, hitting the check downs, and not testing that and being smart with the ball. That allowed us to keep the chains moving, keep things going. Now, everyone's talking about the 4th and short, and during the game, everyone was talking about Jelani clogged the hole up, didn't get, get his push or whatever. He fell into the hole. That's what stopped CJ. No, that is not what stopped CJ, bro. It's a 1 yard, run. If you watch that, whether a guy is below you or not, if you are leaning forward, if you are getting your pad level low, regardless of the fact you are going forward instead of backwards. Those guys that Jelani was also on the ground in between the defenders that stopped him. Guess what they did? They was able to push back, so why can't our running back push back or push forward? The reason is his pad level was not high. I think that he even spoke about his pad level being too high after the game if you go watch his post game. I'm telling you, a running back is supposed to get that. CJ Donaldson needs to do better. One thing that I didn't like was seeing Bo Jackson get all of those hard-fought yards just to turn around and let somebody else go in the game to get the touchdown. That sucked for me watching that, man. But shout out to Bo Jackson. He's obviously our RB1. But no reason to worry about our offense, man. I just think that there's some things, obviously, that we can tweak a little bit and will tweak. Right now, we go up against Minnesota. That will be a night game, 7:30 kickoff on NBC. And I'll tell you, guys, if there's a game that is running late on NBC, hurry up, get over to Peacock because I believe it will start on time on the Peacock app. So make sure you get over to Peacock if the game does not start on time on NBC. That's a healthy reminder to everybody about that, man. So make sure that everybody is tuned in. Today we had interviews from Ryan Day, a lot of guys. I didn't get to check them all out, man, but you got to hear Ryan Day speak about Davison Igbinosun. And one thing I want to do, I gotta reach out to Chimney Checkwa because I gotta see if I can confirm this. Because one thing that I told you guys is Chimney said that he just needs to work with Iggy on those issues, and he believed that he could get those PI stopped. And one thing, Iggy has one PI on the season. I think right now he'd probably have 5 by now, but he only has 1, and I think he was being lazy. The one that he did have, he was just being lazy right off the line, honestly. But a lot of people are talking about where Iggy could go in the draft, and I tell you this, I think he will go in the first of 2 rounds. One thing that a lot of these teams need, especially depending on the team, is someone, a DB who can stop in the run game. And that's one thing that Iggy does well. He excels at is stopping in the run game, bro. One thing that I always said when he first got here, I felt like he triggered faster than our linebackers, and he was playing further off the ball than they were. So shout out to Iggy, always making plays back there. And Ryan Day also spoke about him and the edginess that he has. And another thing Ryan Day spoke on was in his interview was talking about this offseason. They had to stop practice because there were too many fights. And one thing that you are seeing in this edginess of this team is a guy just, I think, like kind of after the whistle was thinking he could just bully Caleb Downs. And you see Caden Curry come over and just maul him over. And I see the parents and the players are just tweeting brotherhood, like they loving it. So the brotherhood is real with Ohio State, man. Shout out. Everybody's asking, what is the identity of this team? They're edgy. Shout out Ryan Day. This ain't a soft team. They're edgy. And I told you, these Twitch monsters, they were going to be different, man. And you're just able to see it. And I think that they're also one thing that they're also doing is I think that Ryan Day is picking up off of the team. I think that he is feeding off of this. And another thing that Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs, I watched that interview. Shout out to Caleb Downs and Josh Downs on the Downs to Business podcast. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out, man. But one thing that they spoke about Ryan Day is he's trying to make it to where they're not having those issues and they have to change something up in the middle of the season. He's keeping these guys on edge every day so that they don't have to make or fix those issues. They're fixing these issues no matter if it's a win, no matter how they win or anything. So it's the one thing that he's installing in them every week, every day. Caleb Downs just kept reinforcing that. So I like to hear that. Someone else posted something about the Caleb Downs podcast. He said the secondary was bored against Washington. And I mean, I would be too. You did see like Roebuck, their freshman, he got to make a couple plays in that game, but I felt like a lot of the plays that they were making in the throw game were things that Ohio State's defense was allowing or wanted to allow. One thing that they just didn't want to do is they didn't want you to be able to run the ball, and they said, "Hey, let's see if you could beat us with your arm." He couldn't. He couldn't. Now you got Washington fans saying, "Oh, he held the ball too long." But this Minnesota game, I don't know how you all are feeling about it. I think that Ohio State is going to go ahead and take care of business in this game. I don't think that there's anything to worry about. I think that Minnesota has more issues than anything. Matt Patricia is definitely going to get after. He's definitely going to get after this quarterback, man. They're having issues in their run game. What else? Let's check. Right now, I'm about to tell y'all how bad this is. ESPN FPI predictor is giving Minnesota a 5.3% chance to win this game right now. I think that this game could get early. Now, the Washington game, I predicted the score to be 42-13. I guess I should have flipped that 24 and then should have minus 7 points or not gave them a touchdown and just said the 6 points. I don't think that Minnesota scores a touchdown in this game either, man. I believe the quarterback, he's only thrown for what? He's thrown for 958 yards, but he's only had like 117 attempts. It's going to be a long game for them. They're not able, like I said, they're not able to get the running game going. Their leading rusher has 173 rushing yards. Bo Jackson has 120, 100, what's that? 126 more yards than him. No, 124 more yards than him. My apologies. Again, Jeremiah Smith, we've been vanilla in the past game. Jeremiah Smith has 192 yards over their leading wide receiver. Sacks wise, Caden Curry leads over in them. Now, they do have their leading tackler, which is Devon Williams, senior linebacker. I heard, people said you might have to watch out for him. We'll see. I'm not really worried about Minnesota. Now, here's one of those games where you got to worry about the trickery stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised. One thing, if you go back and watch Minnesota, they did this onside kick that was very controversial that ended up changing the rule, I believe, in the Big Ten. I'm not sure if it's changed in college football, period, but end up changing in the Big Ten for sure. I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota came down and tried that onside kick in the beginning of the game. All the trickeries are going to come out in this game. I don't believe that PJ Fleck is going to try to go down quiet. He's a stubborn little dude. Yeah, you're talking about Rutgers was able to put up 28. They did get that win. Rutgers put up 28. Cal put up 27 against them. If they're putting up that, I guess this is my 42 game. So we're still going to probably play conservative, but I think that we should be able to do a little bit better. I think our defense gets a couple more turnovers on this team as well. But I think they might have a kicker maybe. I don't know. I'm not worried about Minnesota right now. Minnesota is 3-1. They'll be 3-2 after this game. but that's not who I'm worried about. But let's go ahead and take care of some business before we get to the next stuff.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
And remember, participants must be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, participants must be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER, man. So do not get addicted to this. There is nothing free in it, but it is just for fun. So only spend what you are able to. That is my biggest thing on that. And for our promo, go ahead and check out Novix and 5 get 50. Claim now, man. Again, participants must be 21 or older. In this game, man, Minnesota right now, I'm not really a betting person, man. So normally I'm like, I'll pick the game straight up. But since we are, doing this with our company, I guess I have to start. Right now, the spread is you got Ohio State at minus 23.5. Do you believe Ohio State covers? I believe, funny to say this, I think Washington has a little bit more offensive firepower than Minnesota. I will say that. I believe Buckeyes cover in this game. So I'm not one of those. Some people are big on the money line. Now, let's see. What is the over-under? The over-under is at 44.5. Do I expect that? So if I'm expecting the Buckeyes to get 42, Minnesota gets a field goal, that's 45. Yeah. I'm going with the over. Take the over in this game. I think that the reason why the total is like this is because Minnesota doesn't have an offense and because Ohio State has been playing conservative. Let me know in the chat which way you would be going, man. And my guy Aaron said, I think we cover. Shout out to Posh because I feel you. I'm that way. I'm that way, man. I know myself and Johnny have a friendly wager, no money. We're going to be doing profile picks on the game. So wish me luck, y'all. We don't need no luck, man. I'm ready for that game. I'm ready for that Team Up North game for sure, man. But there are some games, man. I got to talk to you guys. There are some games that are going on. And one thing that I always like to talk to you all about, man, is my underrated game for week 6. And for week 6, my underrated game has to be Michigan State going on the road to take on Nebraska, man. I think that this is going to be a very entertaining game. I know some people, they like games that are, ranked games that, the teams are highly ranked, brand name games. I I like matchup games, and I believe that this is a matchup game. Both of these teams are 3-1. Both of these teams are 0-1 in Big Ten standings. Who's going to get their first Big Ten win? Will it be Michigan State or will it be Nebraska? Nebraska is a 10.5 point favorite right now in this game. So can Michigan State pull off? Now, one thing that we know is Michigan State has issues with defense and Nebraska has been having issues with defense. So my biggest thing is whose defense can get the most stops, make the most plays. Now, I will say this, Aiden Childs does have an issue when it comes to turnover issues. ESPN's FPI predictor only is giving Michigan State a 14% chance to win this game. I'll say this. They have the over-under at 47.5. Let me know, do you think that this game hits the over? Let's go and let's see. I believe that this game hits the over, and I'll tell you why. The team up north in Nebraska game got up to 30-27 now with an equal 57 points right there. I think that this game can. You're talking about the Michigan State and USC game. USC, Nebraska might have a comparable defense, right? That game was a total of, what's that? 76 points. I'm telling you, hit the over on this game. I think that is going to be a high-scoring game in this, man. So definitely hammer that. That's what I'm feeling in my game. It's going to be a 4 p.m. kickoff on FS1. Make sure that you check that out, man. And we also got some big top matchups going on. Two of them that I want to talk to you guys about right now. And that's going to be number 9 Texas taking on Florida. It is a 3:30 kickoff on ESPN. And I think that this game could be a trap game for Texas. I think that is one of those games that we should definitely be watching out for. If you are not watching out for this game, I don't know what to tell you. But I'll tell you who has the most riding on this game, and that is definitely going to be Texas. Texas is coming in as a 6.5 point favorite. ESPN's FPI predictor is only giving Florida a 23.3% chance to win. Now, there are rumors that DJ Lagway is dealing with injury. He's had 6 interceptions on the season, and we know Texas defense, while the offense has started the season off with struggles, with issues, we know that defense is legit. And can they force Lagway into more turnover-worthy plays? Now you have a young guy, Vernell Brown, has been leading that wide receiver core. Now I do believe that Florida's defense is also legit. Will this be a defensive battle? I'm thinking that this will be a defensive battle. They have the over-under set at 41.5. If this is a defensive battle like I think it will be, I think I'm going to take the under. 41.5. I think I'm going to take that under in this game. I think that, obviously Florida is still finding their way around in their offense. Right now, Texas, we've seen how they played against Ohio State. They've only played 2 FCS teams and 1 G5 team. So I'm very interested to see now, were they able to find their identity? A lot of people were pretty hyped with them, the Sam Houston State game. But FCS opponent, I used to watch my school, UCA, beat Sam Houston State. And I mean, the UCA and Sam Houston State game was a big game. That was a big game in FCS. So, I mean, I'm not taking it. We still don't know anything about this Texas offense. Parker Livingston is still leading that wide receiver core for Texas. Now we will see them against a legit defense. But if Lagway is turning the ball over and giving Texas more chances, of course, I think Texas is going to win this game. So we'll see, man. I think Texas probably pulls this out, but I would not be shocked if Florida wins. I'm not touching the spread. I would probably say maybe Florida State covers, but I wouldn't take money line in this game or none of that. I would just take the over under right now, and I'm telling you, go under in that game. That's what I'm going with because I believe that both defenses are legit. Now, I think the game of the week, the game that everybody is going to be talking about, and I see you guys in the chat. You guys just couldn't wait. Couldn't wait, man. Y'all are talking about it. Florida State will take on Miami. ACC game. Who is going to represent the ACC in the college football playoffs, right? That's what we need to know. Now, Miami is coming in as a 4.5 favorite. Right now, you got the over-under set at 53.5. And you have the you got money line at Hurricanes minus 190. So FPI predictor is giving Florida State a 34.7% chance to win this game. As much as it pains me to say this, I do think that Miami is legit, man. The issues that I watched Florida State have with Virginia, I was honestly shocked, especially after seeing what they did to Bama. You see how they just rolled their cupcakes, but maybe they could have been playing with their food. I think this is going to be an exciting game. This is a game that I wouldn't touch, but I'm very excited to watch this game. I wouldn't touch it though, because one thing that we know is Mario Cristobal. He has his moments where he just does dumb things. You go back and you watched what was that Miami game they played? The Notre Dame game. I felt like Mario Cristobal was doing stuff to let Notre Dame get back in the game. It made no sense. So that's my biggest thing is, can Mario Cristobal outcoach Florida State in this game? You got Mike Norvell with his mentor and Gus Malzahn. Now, they're talking about Castellanos could possibly be out. I did hear something like that. We'll see. I'm not sure, but I think Miami's going to win this game. Like I said, I would not touch this game at all if I was you. But to whoever, I know some of y'all just like to be out there, man. But again, I appreciate everybody for coming in, rocking with me while I was solo dolo. Shout out to everybody who watched on Twitter and hit that retweet button. I saw you in the chat. I definitely appreciate it. Again, if you're watching on X, just hit that like button. We appreciate it. It just helps us grow, helps more people be able to see this content. I appreciate you. And with that, you guys, I'm out of here.
Example, when things get hard in life.
World famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
We might be in a situation where we have a superstar coach on our hands, kind of like how we did with Brian Hartline.
So right from the jump, make sure they understand they're playing somebody different tonight. They're playing the Buckeyes. They're playing the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Being a Buckeye, there's